All right, guys. So Italy Senate has confirmed clamped down on the citizenship claims. This is a what's going on in Italy. I just saw this article on the local.it and it was just posted about 30 minutes ago on their website. I'm going to read it with you and I'm going to explain some things from how I understand it. If you know more, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comment section below. But I'm going to read through the article and I'm also going to give some of my commentary just to inform you guys a little bit more about what exactly has been happening and why they are clamping down on how people who have distant connection with Italy, but not a close connection with Italy, how they are clamping down on people claiming Italian citizenship. A lot of things will change from this. My subreddit has not even waken up with this particular news, so this is like just hitting the press. So I'm going to read it for you all, and I'm going to try to explain. If you know more information, please comment down below. This first took place, just so you all know, it first took place on March the 28th, where an urgent decree was presented to stop what they're saying is the abuse of people who have distant relatives who were born in Italy, stopping the abuse of people getting Italian citizenship, also from predatory companies who have made a business from kind of like hounding these people to get their Italian citizenship. It's a lot. I made another video about it. You can go and check that out. But I'm going to read this. The 60th day, which you have to have 60 days from where it's kind of, I guess it's like a cool down period or whatnot, where people have the opportunity to kind of, I guess, figure out if they would want to vote to approve or deny such a serious type of decree. Yesterday, Thursday, the Senate confirmed their clampdown, and then I think it's the Parliament has to vote on it, which will be next week, which is the 60th day. It's the 27th, I believe. So I'm going to read this article. You guys let me know what you think. If you have any information, comment down below. Share this with anybody who would be interested in this. And fast forward if I'm talking too slow. Sorry. So the Italian Senate voted on Thursday in favor of drastic changes to rules on who can apply for Italian citizenship by descent, marking another step towards a hastily introduced decree becoming law. Senators voted to approve the changes with 81 votes in favor and 37 against after the government on March 28th controversially pushed through an urgent decree tightening the rules on claiming citizenship by descent. The new law means applicants must have at least one parent or grandparent born in Italy and with exclusively Italian citizenship, abruptly changing past rules under which anyone with an Italian ancestor alive after March 17, 1861, the date Kingdom of Italy was created, was eligible to apply. So with that, what was basically happening in the past is if you can prove that your great grandmother or grandfather, because there's something in that ruling that if you had a grandfather, it meant more than if you had a grandmother. But if you can prove that they were Italian citizens, that they hadn't, I think there's something if they hadn't renounced their citizenship, you would be able to apply. From some of the things that I've read is that there are companies that were basically taunting and making thousands and thousands of dollars telling people in other countries, hey, I can help you get your citizenship. And it was going back so far. So let's say like you might get it, but your mom doesn't have it. So you can get it. And these people, it was like a continuous, like, I wouldn't say it was a money pit, but from what I've heard is that it created such a cluster F inside of a lot of Italian little towns where people, like their grandparents might have not even been born, their great-great-grandparents, whatever, might have not even been born in a hospital. They're maybe born in a house, and so they had to find baptism records and all this other stuff. And what was happening was people were taking their Italian passports, and instead of living in Italy and or investing in Italy, they were going to Portugal, they were going to Spain. It was becoming basically a lot of work for the country with no reward, and there was like no limits around it. So basically this adds some limits. And then also, and I know there's some people that have said that, like, you know, their two kids have it and their youngest kid now doesn't have it. And that they were hoping that they could get the citizenship because they wanted to retire in Italy. Or you have people in certain countries that your country that you are born in and that it's the only country you know, you would need a visa to travel with your country's passport, but not with an Italian passport. So the government in Italy basically felt they were being taken advantage of, and who knows what other reasons it might be. And so this is why they are implementing this or have implemented this. And from what I've heard, a lot of actual people that live in Italy, even though this is a really right-wing government, and I can't say everybody doesn't agree with them, because obviously somebody voted for them, but I've heard that there's a lot of people who do not like a lot of their viewpoints, but they do like this. Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani told reporters on Thursday evening that the Senate vote was was a very important step in strengthening the integrity of our system and preventing abuse. That was in La Repubblica, a very popular Italian newspaper. There will no longer be automatic recognition for people born abroad who do not have at least one parent or grandparent with exclusively Italian citizenship, Tajani continued, meaning only those who have a parent or grandparent born in Italy will be eligible. Tajani said that the changes would end automatic recognitions of citizenships for people born abroad unless they have at least one parent or grandparent born in Italy. The children of Italian citizens born abroad will still have the possibility of acquiring citizenships if their parents request it. On my proposal, the Senate has also approved an amendment that allows requests to reacquire citizenship for Italian immigrants who have had to renounce Italian citizenship to work in countries where they have settled. So I want to say with that, because from what I've heard with the whole, like the Italian citizen children born abroad, it's not mentioned here, but I read in another article that they can get their Italian citizenship if their parents have lived in Italy for at least 2 consecutive years. So basically, if I'm a person that I have Italian citizenship, but I've only lived in New York, I cannot pass that on to my children. I have to have lived in Italy for 2 consecutive years. So what ends up happening is a lot of people do not actually go to Italy and live there. They'll visit and all this other stuff, but like the process of becoming like a resident and all that jazz, no one really does it. So, and I'm not saying everybody, guys, but I'm telling you what I've heard and what I've experienced with conversations with people who've gotten their citizenship in this manner. A lot of them are like digital nomads. They don't get citizenship or residency in Italy. They'll have residency in the US, not in Italy. So that's that. All right. The 2-generational limit came into force immediately in March under the decree, which allowed the government to temporarily bypass a vote by lawmakers. As with all urgent decrees, it must, however, be approved by both houses of parliament within 60 days. Following the green light from the Senate, the decree will now go to the lower house of parliament for final approval, which is widely expected to pass. Tajani said in March that the decision to tighten rules was partly due to commercialization of Italian passports. And that's what I was just saying. He said lucrative businesses have sprung up helping people track down Italian ancestors and find the official records needed for citizenship applications, clogging up consular and municipal offices with requests for documentation. The number of Italian citizens abroad have increased by 40% over the past decade, from 4.6 million to 6.4, according to foreign minister figures. What do you guys think about this? So one particular part of parliament has said to approve. What do you guys think about this? Do you know anyone who's has their Italian citizenship in this manner? I know several people, and there's also changes with getting your Italian citizenship via marriage and things of that sort. So, I already made a video about that. You can go check that out. But this is what's going on in Italy. This is the newest update. Yeah, I don't even know what to say, but this is something that is unexpected, but also expected, knowing what's been going on.